There is a quiet war happening within us, one that most people never even realize they are fighting. It is not fought with weapons, nor is it seen with the eyes. It is fought in the space between thought and reaction, between impulse and restraint, between who we are and who we could become. Most people wake up and immediately surrender to this war without knowing it. They scroll, they react, they complain, they chase comfort. And slowly, without a single dramatic moment, they lose control of their own lives. But there is another way to wake up, a way that does not rely on motivation, hype, or fleeting bursts of inspiration. A way that is quiet, disciplined, and deeply rooted in truth. It is not loud, and it does not beg for attention, but it reshapes everything. It turns chaos into order, weakness into strength, and confusion into clarity. This way is built on principles that have survived empires, outlived kings, and carried men through suffering that would break most people today. We are not here to feel good. We are here to become unshakable. And that begins the moment we open our eyes in the morning. 1. We wake up and take control immediately. The moment we wake up, the world begins pulling at us. Notifications, thoughts, worries, desires, they all rush in like a flood trying to take ownership of our mind. Most people lose right here. Before their feet even touch the ground, they have already surrendered their attention. We refuse that. We understand that the first moments of the day are sacred, not because they are peaceful, but because they are decisive. They determine whether we lead our mind or follow it. So we do something most people never do. We pause. We become aware. We do not reach for distraction. We reach for control. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." That strength does not appear later in the day. It is forged in these first few minutes. We sit with ourselves. No phone, no noise, just awareness. And in that silence, we remind ourselves, today will test us. People will be difficult. Situations will not go our way. Emotions will rise. But none of these things will control us unless we allow them to. This is how we begin. Not with comfort, but with command. 2. We train our mind before the world touches it. Most people let the world program their mind. News, social media, random conversations. By the time they try to be disciplined, their thoughts are already scattered, reactive, and weak. We do the opposite. Before the world gets access to us, we condition ourselves. We think deliberately. We reflect. We prepare. We do not wait to react. We decide in advance who we will be. Epictetus taught, don't explain your philosophy. Embody it. That embodiment begins here, in the quiet shaping of our thoughts. We rehearse patience before we are tested. We choose calm before chaos arrives. We decide that no insult, no inconvenience, no delay will have the power to disturb our inner state. This is not denial, it is preparation. We visualize difficulty. We expect resistance, not because we are pessimistic, but because we are realistic. Life does not bend to our preferences, and once we accept that fully, we stop being surprised by hardship. Instead of being shaken by it, we stand ready for it. 3. We separate what we can control from what we cannot. This is where most suffering is born. Confusion about control. People try to control outcomes, other people, timing, results, and when reality does not cooperate, they become frustrated, anxious, angry, not because life is against them, but because they are fighting battles they were never meant to fight. We refuse to waste our energy like that. We draw a clear line. What is ours and what is not? Our thoughts, ours. Our actions, ours. Our discipline, ours. Everything else, not ours. Seneca said, "We suffer more often in imagination than in reality." That suffering comes from trying to control what was never within our reach. Once we let go of that illusion, something powerful happens. We become lighter, clearer, stronger. We stop reacting to outcomes and start focusing on effort. We stop needing things to go our way and start mastering how we show up regardless of what happens. And in that shift, we gain a kind of freedom most people never experience. 4. We reject emotional weakness without suppressing emotion. There is a misunderstanding that strength means feeling nothing. That is not strength, that is avoidance. We feel everything. But we are not ruled by what we feel. When anger rises, we observe it. When frustration appears, we examine it. When fear enters, we question it. We do not immediately act on emotion because we understand something most people ignore. Emotion is not instruction. It is information. Epictetus warned, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." And that reaction is where power lives. We create space between feeling and action. In that space, we choose. We choose patience over impulse. We choose clarity over chaos. We choose strength over comfort. And the more we do this, the less control our emotions have over us, not because they disappear, but because we rise above them. 5. We do what must be done, regardless of how we feel. There is a moment every day where the mind looks for escape. It whispers excuses. It suggests delay. It offers comfort as a reward for doing nothing. Most people listen. We don't. We understand that discipline is not built when things are easy. It is built when we act despite resistance, when we move forward without motivation, when we do what must be done even when every part of us wants to avoid it. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "At dawn, when you have trouble getting out of bed, tell yourself, 'I have to go to work.' As a human being, that work is not just a job. It is the work of becoming who we are capable of being. We do not negotiate with weakness. We act. And every time we act against resistance, we strengthen something within us that cannot be taken away." 6. We end the day with reflection, not escape. Most people end their day the same way they lived it, distracted, reactive, unconscious. They escape into entertainment, avoid reflection, and repeat the same patterns the next day. We choose something different. We review, not with judgment, but with honesty. We ask ourselves, where did we lose control? Where did we react instead of respond? Where did we fall short of who we said we would be? Seneca practiced this daily. He would examine his actions and say, "When the light has been removed and my wife has fallen silent, I examine my entire day." We do the same, not to punish ourselves, but to improve. Because without awareness, there is no growth, and without growth, there is no change. Each day becomes a cycle: awareness, correction, progress. And over time, those small, consistent corrections transform everything. This is not a secret in the way people expect. It is not hidden behind complexity or reserved for a select few. It is hidden in plain sight, ignored because it requires discipline, consistency, and honesty. But once we commit to this path, something shifts. We stop chasing outcomes and start building character. We stop reacting to life and start mastering ourselves. We stop being controlled and become in control. And that is when everything changes. There is a story about Epictetus that most people hear, but few actually understand. He was born a slave, not metaphorically, but literally owned by another man. One day, his master twisted his leg violently. Epictetus calmly said, "If you continue, you will break it." The man kept twisting until it snapped, and Epictetus simply responded, "I told you so." No screaming, no rage, no collapse, just awareness and acceptance. Not because he didn't feel pain, but because he refused to surrender his mind to it. That is the level of control we are walking toward, not comfort. Control. Think about that for a second. Most people lose their composure over a delayed text message, a rude comment, or a bad day at work. Meanwhile, a man with nothing, no freedom, no status, no control over his physical circumstances, still maintained control over the only thing that truly mattered: his inner world. That is the gap. That is the difference. And once we see it clearly, excuses start to fall apart, because it becomes impossible to claim that our situation is too difficult when someone in a far worse position mastered himself completely. Then there's Marcus Aurelius, a man who ruled an empire, commanded armies, and carried the weight of millions of lives on his decisions. You would expect someone in that position to be overwhelmed, reactive, or consumed by power, but instead he wrote private notes to himself, reminding him to stay calm, to remain just, to not let anger take over. Imagine that. The most powerful man in the world, reminding himself not to lose control over his emotions. Not because he was weak, but because he understood how easy it is to fall. And while dealing with war, betrayal, plague, and constant pressure, he still wrote things like, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts." That wasn't theory. That was survival. He wasn't writing for inspiration. He was writing to stay grounded in the middle of chaos. That's the level we're aiming for. Not a life without pressure, but a mind that stays steady no matter how intense life becomes. There's another example that hits differently. Seneca, one of the wealthiest men in Rome, living in luxury most people couldn't even imagine. But instead of clinging to comfort, he would intentionally practice discomfort. Sleeping on the floor, wearing rough clothing, eating basic food, and asking himself, "Is this what I feared?" He wasn't doing this for attention. He was training himself to not depend on comfort. Because he knew something most people ignore. If you need comfort to feel okay, you are weak without it. That flips everything. Because now we're not chasing a perfect environment anymore. We're building a version of ourselves that can operate in any environment. Cold, heat, stress, pressure, it doesn't matter. We adapt. We stay steady. We don't fall apart just because things aren't ideal. That's real power, the kind no one can take from you. There's a simple, everyday example of this too. Imagine someone cuts you off in traffic. Instantly, there's a reaction. Anger, frustration, maybe even the urge to retaliate. That's the default. That's what most people do. But this is where everything changes. Instead of reacting, we pause. We ask, is this within my control? No. So what am I actually doing by getting angry? Nothing but disturbing my own peace. And just like that, we let it go. Not because it doesn't matter, but because we refuse to let something small control us. Or think about a moment where someone disrespects you. Most people either explode or shrink. But there's a third option: control. We observe the situation, respond with clarity, and keep our composure. No emotional outburst, no need to prove anything, just quiet strength. And ironically, that's what hits harder than any reaction ever could, because it shows something rare: self-mastery. There are also moments when discipline feels impossible. Late at night, tired, unmotivated, everything in you wants to skip what you said you would do. That's where most people break. But this is where we build something different. We remember that action is not based on feeling. We move anyway, even if it's slower, even if it's not perfect. We show up. Because every time we do, we reinforce a new identity, someone who does what they say, regardless of emotion. And over time, that compounds. There's a quiet confidence that starts to form. Not loud, not performative, but solid. You start trusting yourself because you've proven again and again that you will act even when it's hard. That trust is rare. Most people don't even trust themselves to follow through on small promises. But once you build that, everything changes. Because now you're not relying on motivation. You're relying on discipline. There's also power in how we interpret things. Two people can go through the same situation. One sees it as unfair, frustrating, and overwhelming. The other sees it as a challenge, an opportunity to grow, a test of character. The situation is the same. The meaning is different, and that meaning determines everything that follows. As Epictetus said, men are disturbed not by things, but by the views they take of them. So we train that perspective. When something goes wrong, we don't ask, why is this happening to me? We ask, what is this trying to teach me? That single shift turns obstacles into tools, pain into progress, frustration into fuel, and suddenly life stops feeling like something happening against us and starts feeling like something shaping us. And then there's the way we end our day. Most people avoid looking at themselves honestly. They distract, they scroll, they escape, but we sit with it. We replay the day, not to feel bad, but to get better. Where did I lose control? Where could I have responded better? And the key is, we answer honestly. No excuses, no sugarcoating. Because that's where growth lives. And over time, something almost unrecognizable begins to form. The same situations that used to shake you don't. The same triggers that used to control you fade. The same struggles that once felt overwhelming become manageable. Not because life got easier, but because you got stronger. This is how everything changes. Not in one dramatic moment, not overnight in the way people expect, but through consistent, disciplined control over the one thing that matters most: yourself.